They grew up together. She pretended to hate him, to protect him. A story of secret love disguised as rejection for someone's safety. Same streets, same school, same dreams scribbled in notebooks no one else ever read. He was wild, fearless, loud, full of fire. And she was quiet strength. Eyes that saw everything, but lips that rarely said how much she cared. He called her Ice Queen. She never smiled at that, but she never denied it either. Truth was, she loved him, silently, fiercely, completely. But silence has its reasons, and love sometimes must wear a mask. The trouble started when he got into things he shouldn't have. Wrong crowd, wrong deals, danger dressed as thrill. She warned him once. He laughed it off. I can handle it, he said. Then came the night, a message, a threat. His name mentioned in a way that made her blood run cold. So she made a choice. The next morning he showed up at her door smiling, but her face didn't match it. She looked him in the eyes and said, I don't want you around me anymore. You're a mess. I'm done pretending you matter. He was stunned, shattered. Tried to argue, tried to ask why. She turned away. Didn't flinch, didn't blink, didn't let her voice break. He walked away, angry, broken, confused. And that's exactly what she wanted. Because behind her back she was negotiating with people he never knew existed. She erased every trace of their connection, deleted photos, destroyed letters, even lied to the people who cared, all to protect him from being a target. Because loving her was now dangerous for him, so she chose to be his heartbreak rather than be his downfall. He never knew. He just believed she stopped caring. Moved on, left him behind. Years passed. He changed, left the streets, found his purpose, built a life, but never trusted love again. Until one day he found an old envelope in a second-hand bookstore, tucked between pages of a poetry book she once loved. It was in her handwriting, unsent, unfinished. If you ever read this, I want you to know I never hated you. I only wanted you to live, and if losing me gave you that chance, then I'd do it all over again. He stood still, letter shaking in his hands. Because sometimes the most painful goodbyes are the ones done out of love. She had loved him enough to become his villain, so he could become his own. Not all love looks like a fairy tale. It doesn't always arrive with roses or end with rings. Sometimes it looks like silence that screams goodbyes that never made sense, and memories locked in the corners of a heart that still whispers their name in the dark. Sometimes it looks like harsh words spoken softly, like pushing someone away just to protect them from what they can't see. It looks like turning your back, not out of anger but out of fear, that staying might destroy them. It looks like a door closed not out of pride but out of pain, one that never reopened because behind it stood a love too dangerous to stay but too deep to ever die. Because behind that silence, behind those cold words, behind the distance, was a heart quietly breaking so another could keep beating. That's the kind of love no one claps for. No grand gestures, no perfect endings, just sacrifice hidden behind a mask and loyalty that chose their safety over your own happiness. That isn't weakness. That is love in its purest, most painful form, the kind that walks away not because it wants